Super dope. Happy Wednesday. Going to be a quick episode today, just covering the manga drafts that came out at the end of last week for Dragon Ball Super Chapter 70. The full chapter is going to drop tomorrow, Thursday, the 18th. So I'm not going to dive too deep into this. However, I did make a YouTube video covering the drafts that came out along with the translations as done by Herms98. So I'm going to drop in the audio from that YouTube video right now before we kick this thing off, and then I'll theorize and talk to you guys about some stuff on the other side. Patrons, Saturday night, if you didn't hear me, and I'll say it in the YouTube video sound for sure, but Saturday night we'll be sitting down to talk about this one on the Zoom. So check your Patreon inboxes for that info. But yeah, here's the translations for Dragon Ball Super Chapter 70. The greatest warrior in the universe drafts Herms98 on Twitter. We love you. So with the drafts that came out for Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 70 last week, the greatest warrior in the universe, I wanted to make a quick YouTube video breaking down the translations as done by Herms98 on Twitter. Todd Blankenship, we appreciate you as a fandom. I'll probably pull this audio, put it at the beginning of the podcast this week. If you like podcasts, Dragon Ball Super Dope, wherever you get your podcasts. But let's get into these translations. Roughs are out for Dragon Ball Super Chapter 70, the greatest warrior in the universe. The dragon tells Granola he can only make him the best warrior in the universe, quote, on one condition. Granola accepts, and we see him transformed, but we don't learn what the condition is. In this middle panel here, that's like pretty much the only draft that we got maybe mid last week, was that Granola accepts the conditions of the wish. No real clue as to what those conditions may be. Two Dragon Balls fly off, and then we are left with a much longer-haired Granola. And I think the obvious comparison or thing that people brought up was that kind of looks like he's Super Saiyan 3 at this point. Pretty BA. So moving on to this next one. Without accepting this condition, the dragon can make Granola stronger, but can't give him strength, surpassing his latent potential, which won't be enough to make him best in the universe. Only interested in being the best, Granola accepts the condition. So he has to surpass his latent potential. Maybe I feel like that's part of maybe one of the conditions. I'm not really sure exactly how that factors in, like if it's a two-part wish now or something, but either way, I think it's interesting they're bringing up latent potential. I don't think it's something many people have thought about since Krillin and Kid Gohan had their latent potential unlocked by Guru during the Frieza saga on Namek. So interesting to see where this will go for sure. Meanwhile, Beerus continues to teach Vegeta Hakai. Goku was only interested in getting better at Ultra Instinct and will let Vegeta do his own thing. Vegeta finally manages to Hakai a tiny rock. Next, he'll do something bigger. All right, so we see Vegeta continuing to, go down this path of, at least the archetype of what a god of destruction would look like. It's yet to be known if he will actually ever assume that mantle, but he's definitely, learning the powers of and increasing his skill set in that realm, which, pretty interesting. He is, pure evil. Backing up a bit, Vegeta's first attempt at rock breaking is rejected by Beerus as not a proper Hakai, which isn't merely breaking something, but completely erasing it from the world. Beerus provides an example, but burns up this month's issue of God Comics as collateral damage. So yeah, you're not doing it right, you're kind of a bum, blah, blah, blah. And it results in a comic book being destroyed. God Comics. The dragon's definition of best warrior in the universe, backing up a bit. The best warrior in the universe, the strongest of any life form, excluding gods. So I think it's pretty safe to say that no matter how much Granola gains power, or how much power Granola gains, I should say, he will not be surpassing Beerus, or definitely not anyone like Whis. Goku is content for him and Vegeta to do their own thing and see which becomes best in the universe. But Whis says it might be someone else. The universe is a big place after all. The Oracle Fish says the best in the universe will be appearing soon. Vegeta is sure that it will be him. And I just want to point out this bottom panel right here. Vegeta facing off with with basically a goldfish, ready to permanently evict that goldfish from its bowl. I don't care if it sees the future or not. It's just the look of, oh, can't wait to see this chapter all finished up. And from there, Vegeta successfully Hakkai's the rock, and the scene returns to Planet Cereal and Super Saiyan 3 Granola. I like that he put it in Super Saiyan 3 Granola. I think that's it for the highlights. Full chapter should be out in a week or so. And yeah, that's confirmed Thursday, March the 18th. Vegeta successfully Hakkai's the rock. That's what I'm saying. So yes, Thursday the 18th will be the full chapter 70, the greatest warrior in the universe. If you are a patron, Dragon Ball Super, what is it? Patreon.com/Dragon Ball Super Dope. That's what that is. Our monthly manga review on Saturday night. We are currently aiming for 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So check your Patreon inboxes for that information in the Zoom info. If this is your first time checking out our video, you like podcasts, go check out our podcast, Dragon Ball Super Dope, wherever you get podcasts. If you like podcasts on YouTube, that's a thing people do. Subscribe to our channel here, leave a like on the video, share it with your friends, and we will catch you next time. Super Dope! Wasn't that nice? And also, it's proof that I can read. You know, I make the joke all the time, I can't read, but I just read a bunch of shit very clearly, and I barely swore at all through any of it. So, miracles do happen, kids. Keep your nose to the grindstone and all that nonsense, and you too cannot swear while trying to make a 5.5-minute YouTube video. I will say, outside of like some of the interviews I've done with like, other more visible Dragon Ball content creators like Mr. Fusion and Masako X, those guys, fucking Goshin, Steph, she's like my friend. Outside of like those videos, that video that you just heard the audio from is like the most successful YouTube video I've ever made, and it took me like, I don't know, an hour, and I had my editor Matthew, shout out Matthew, make a couple quick cuts for me because I was kind of busy. So I got like 100 views in like a day, which doesn't sound like a lot, but for some YouTube deficient dickhead like me who like is lucky to pull 12 views on a long podcast episode, I was impressed to get over 100 in a day. That's retention rate. That's another number that I don't want to talk about. Anyway, there's a couple of things in these translations that I just read out for you that I didn't really expound upon. Compound? Who cares? I didn't really talk about them any further as I was reading. I pretty much just stuck to the translations, couple of comments here and there, but I don't know. I guess I kind of just want to get a couple of thoughts out there on the record before the chapter drops in full on Thursday. So a couple bullet points here, right? Super Saiyan 3 Granola, as I think we're all going to continue to call him until we got some kind of clear indication as to what just happened to him. I think we're all just going to call him Super Saiyan 3 Granola. The dragon says, he can make his wish. There are conditions. I'm not sure if we just heard the conditions or not, though, in the manga drafts that we discussed. Like early in the week, one panel came out, and it was just a text bubble of Granola in on his face. It might actually help if you haven't seen the panels that I'm talking about to go check out the video. So you can, have the visual reference for the panels I'm talking about. There's a link in the show notes. But the only thing that we'd had the week before was just this shot close up in on Granola's face. And he's just saying, okay, I accept the conditions of the wish, basically. And we knew that the dragon basically said to him previous to that, I can grant your wish on whatever condition. So when we look at it a little bit further from these drafts, we see that he has to unlock his blatant potential. Blatant potential? Is that what it's called? Passive potential? Did I make that up? Not blatant. It's latent. Ugh. So the dragon lets Granola know that one of the conditions, I think anyway, I'm not sure if this is actually the condition or if this is just the dragon explaining what he has to do to power up Granola, but The dragon lets him know, I have to unlock your latent potential, your latent abilities to be able to fully tap into your full power, basically. And like I said in the translation piece that I just pulled, latent potential, latent ability, whatever. It reminds me of Guru unlocking Krillin and Gohan's potential during the Frieza saga on Namek. It would make sense to bring in an element like that, I guess, just because we've got a Namekian so, close in proximity to Granola and Monito, I believe is the name. I do kind of wonder if we just saw the condition or not. Is that what the condition? I have to unlock your potential. Is that cool? That's the condition. That doesn't sound like much of a condition. That just sounds like more of an explanation. The other thing that he says too, which could be considered a condition, is I can make you the strongest being in the universe, excluding gods. So, we have to assume he's not going to be eclipsing Beerus or Whis. But again, is that a condition, or is that? I guess that's kind of a condition. Is that the only condition? I don't know. Does the condition have something to do with his new long-haired appearance, looking like a Super Saiyan 3? Is that what it is? Did he have to, I don't know, did he undergo some kind of transformation into a different being, or a different race? Did he just become a Saiyan? Is that like is that the condition? Like the only way you could be as powerful as you could is I have to make you the most, whatever, capable fighting or power-worthy race, or whatever the heck you want to call the Saiyans. I don't really know the best way to describe it. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning, but I don't know if we've seen all the conditions for this wish, or all of the the monkey paw like ramifications of this wish that might come back to haunt Granola. Which kind of brings me to my second point. They do make it a big point in chapter 69, the Namekian Monito. I don't know why I can't say that name. Monito does make it a point to say, the Dragon Balls are not for revenge. Basically, you can't use them in the way in which he would choose, or he thinks Granola would choose to use them. So I do wonder if, we've seen all of the rules of this dragon. Does this dragon have some sort of ability to renege on a wish if, he ultimately decides that Granola has made his wish in an effort of revenge? Like, probably not, because then that 2 Dragon Balls would have to reform up real quick, right? Probably wouldn't make sense. Who cares? Do I care? A little. Do I think about it? Of course. Have I thought about it a bunch since I read those YouTube translations the other day? You bet your ass. Am I talking to you about it right now in a monologue type fashion right now? Right now? Right now. Yes, I am. Last piece. Vegeta doing the Hakai training with Beerus. So, I think I said it last month. Who did I do the review with last month? Marcus. That was a great review. Me and Marcus talked about it last month. Like, they always give you a little bit of a hint of, maybe it's time for Vegeta this time. They've done it in almost every single Dragon Ball Super arc. I imagine they'll do it again in this one. But I feel like they're starting off on a much stronger leaning toward Vegeta. And they're either really priming us to have Vegeta have a significant win, or they are priming us to have the ultimate Vegeta fanboy punk out. And by that I mean so much of what's happening right now. Vegeta training with Beerus, very interesting development, not only for Vegeta and learning, Hakai destruction energy techniques, but I think it's kind of cute that Beerus wants a student a little bit. He sees Whis doing his thing with Goku and Vegeta all day. He's like, hey, I'm just taking naps all day and trying to skirt off to Earth to order pizza. I want a friend to fight with. So he has that in Vegeta now. It's an interesting development between those two characters. No, just for those two characters. And the relationship between them, I imagine, is only going to get more complicated with the news that came out in chapter 69 about Beerus ordering the destruction of planet Vegeta in the first place. Now,
normally I'd be like, yeah, they're obviously priming us to, pull the rug out from under us and, have Vegeta, be the support character to Goku again. But what has me sort of hitting pause a little bit, and I don't know, maybe I'm just not thinking clearly. I haven't watched all of Dragon Ball Z in a long time, but I'm having a hard time remembering any examples of Goku just, I don't want to say settling, but I guess maybe the word is just being content, or the phrase would be being content with the situation. And that isn't to say he's still not striving to be the strongest of all time or whatever, but he's definitely made peace with the fact that he's going down this path of trying to master and do more with the Ultra Instinct. And Vegeta is going down this other path of working with Beerus. And he kind of can't be focused on what Vegeta's doing in his rear view, which is, not a very Goku thing. I mean, when Goku sees somebody learning a new technique in his circle of friends, he's usually very interested and I don't want to say jealous, but sometimes he likes to show off and remind everybody that it takes him very little time to learn anything because he's Son Goku. But the drafts that we looked at, so much of Goku's translations was just about like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you do your thing, Vegeta. It's cool. So are they really setting us up to just have Goku kind of, I don't want to say, hand the ball off to Vegeta and be like, here you go, buddy, run it in for the win. But because, that's just not in Goku's character or demeanor or whatever. But the fact that he's so willing to just accept that Vegeta's gone down this other path now and Goku is very much at a separate path and he's at peace with that seemingly for the first time in a long time. I don't know. Interesting dynamic. I'm curious to see how that, if it does carry throughout the entire arc. I imagine that they're just kind of, tugging me through my jeans right now and over the hand job. Over the hand job? Over the pants hand job? Can barely talk today. Anyway, they're just getting us ready for Goku to swoop back in at the end and win the thing anyway, I'm sure. So, what else? So the things sound, I think that's pretty much it for my thoughts on chapter 70. Like I said, I'm not going to dive too much into it because the full chapter will be out in like less than 24 hours. So it's kind of a fruitless endeavor. I hate burning a podcast topic on, such a short-lived topic. Hate burning a podcast topic on such a short-lived topic. I'm doing really well today, guys. A couple of things, right? So if it sounds different in here, it's because this room is about 75% empty now. Yeah. Very much in the thick of moving out of my apartment and moving to the farm, dude. So I'll be doing the last of that stuff pretty much over the next week, 10 days or so. Still plan on keeping the episode release stuff up to date. I might have to borrow, though, a little bit. By that I mean borrow from another podcast feed. Kelly and I have been hard at work on getting Super Dope Plus Ultra up and ready to launch to coincide with the Season 5 premiere of Boku no Hero Academia at the end of March. I believe it's March 27th, so about 10 days, 2 weeks from now. But we recorded our Season 1 and our Season 2 recaps over the last week. Season 2 recap actually came out really well, so that might be your episode on this feed next week, and I don't know, I'll drop links to the actual feed and all that stuff. We'll see what happens. And by next week, I mean the week after that, because next week is obviously when the manga chapter will come out. That manga chapter is going to be, the manga chapter discussion will be taking place in a couple of days. Patrons, Saturday, the 20th. So I know Reese is in. I talked to Leonard. He can't make it, unfortunately, on Saturday night. We thought about changing it to Friday, but we got to keep it to Saturday because Friday we're still doing our Twitch streams. Knock on wood, Jimmy will be here on Friday night for what should be our second to last Pokemon Blue and Beers stream on Twitch. twitch.tv/superdope podcasts. So Friday night, if you want to come hang out and name Pokemon stupid things with us, links in the show notes. Go follow us there. I think that's all I got. I don't know, guys. I got a lot going on. Most of it's decent. My back's feeling better. I can mostly walk upright. It's definitely not normal, but I'm very much learning to manage it, and I am in considerably less pain than I was this time last week, even. Mostly since like last Thursday or Friday, I've been comfortably walking, which is, it's nice. It's nice to be able to go to the grocery store and not limp around like you've got a broken ankle or a stick up your ass or something. So, all right, that's going to do it for Super Dope. I appreciate you guys hanging with me through all the stuff through this first chunk of the year, but spring's around the corner, baby. Typically when St. Patrick's Day rolls around, which is tomorrow or today, I guess now, Wednesday. Yeah, I guess I'm talking to you now on St. Patrick's Day. Typically St. Patrick's Day is like the start of the year for me. Part of it is because seasonal depression is a thing. In the months of January and February, I would be fine if I just hibernated in a cave like a bear and just slept for like 8 weeks. That'd be dope. And just woke up and got ready to drink some green beer on St. Patrick's Day. I'd be totally fine with that type of existence. But also, that used to be my favorite gig each year. You know, St. Patrick's Day. It's the first time of the year that you're playing at a bar indoors, all the sun's out at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And if it's a good enough year, hopefully it's warm enough where you're outside with a t-shirt on and sunglasses on, smoking cigarettes and talking shit. So I love St. Patrick's Day typically for all of the fun musician memories I've got. I've got a couple of bad ones too. Fat Belly's 2013, I think, was the year maybe that happened. I don't know. I've had good ones. I've had bad ones. I've only gotten fired on stage the one time. Maybe two. Actually, I was off stage. And I didn't get fired this first time. That's my uncle did. It's lots of St. Patrick's stories, guys. We could do a whole podcast just about St. Patrick's Day gigs and what I may or may not remember of them. I forgot even why I'm on this rant. Oh, it feels different. You know, COVID. I'm not gigging right now. It's been, I think, a year last week. I've not played an acoustic guitar for a bar room, sang songs and all that. That's a big change for me. That's something that I've been doing basically once a week, every week since I was 18 years old. And before that even, but, less frequently than once a week. So it's weird to not have that in my life right now. It's weird to not be, cramming Irish songs into my songbook or practicing them last minute so I can fake a Wild Rover or a Black Velvet Band or whatever. But it's okay because I'll settle for getting a vaccination and hopefully be partying in the streets with my Bristol people on the 4th of July. That'll be a good time. Well deserved. After this, whatever, hell fucking on earth wasted year of everyone's life for what? For fucking what? All right. It's going to do it for Super Dope. Thanks for sticking with my maniacal ramblings over the years and through the last 26, 7, 8, who gives a shit, however many minutes. Patrons, I'll talk to you on Saturday night. Go check out the YouTube video. If you need the visual reference on the Dragon Ball panels that we just talked about, while you're there, subscribe. If you don't, well, I don't want to tell you what will happen if you don't. Just do it, and then you won't find out what happens if you don't do it. So if you don't do it, not good things will happen. Or, I guess you could also say good things will not happen. But it's more likely, and probably more accurate to say, that not good things will happen. Not good things will happen to your ass. That was a weird way to end it, but I don't even care. Goodbye.